Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be sharing a haul and review. So we're going to be doing some reviews on products that I hauled for you in the past, and I've been wanting to do this series for a while. A lot of my friends do videos like this where they look back at products that they just hauled and didn't give reviews on, and then give a bunch of mini reviews, and I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I thought the best place to start was with the Kids Buy My Makeup Challenge. So I will link it above in case you missed it, but I think it was about a year ago now. I did a challenge with my kids. I took them to Sephora and I let them purchase a full face of makeup for me, and then I had to use all those products in the video, and it was a very messy first impressions with the products that they had picked. Some of the shades were not quite right, and they were going for an orange theme. For some reason they got me like orange eyeshadow, orange lipstick, but it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it would be fun to go back and look at it, look at the products that they purchased for me, and talk about which ones I still own and love and which ones I have already decluttered. So let's go ahead and start. So the very first thing that they bought for me was the Smashbox CC Cream, and I will put a picture in because I did end up decluttering it. The shade that they bought for me just happened to be a little bit too dark. I think it was light/medium, and it just was too dark. So I did use it in the video, obviously. I used all the products in that actual video for my Get Ready With Me portion of it. But I did end up decluttering it. I think I actually gave it to my daughter Aubrey, and it was still a little too dark for her skin tone as well. But that one did get decluttered. It wasn't because of the formula on that. It was more because of the color. I think that was the only time I wore it. I might have tried it one other time, like mixing it in with something lighter, and it still was too dark. So I did declutter that because of the shade. The second item they picked out for me was the Becca Aqua Foundation. So with this foundation, by the way, with everything I purchased in that video, I did not return anything because I felt like, you know, I made the decision to let my two children go in and pick my makeup. So if they pick something that I didn't like, I just had a problem with like returning it. I feel like that was my choice to let them do that. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, with the Becca Aqua Foundation, I actually did return it, and only because the one that they got me, the little dropper on it was broken. It didn't work right. And so I did end up returning it, or actually exchanged it for a lighter shade, hoping that the dropper would work on that one, and then that dropper didn't work. So it was the packaging that was a fail for me on this product. I know a lot of those foundations that have the little dropper on it don't have issues with the dropper not working. I wish companies would just stop doing the dropper thing. I feel like the dropper thing does not work with foundations. I wish they all had a pump. That would be amazing. But yeah, that little like serum type dropper thing doesn't work with foundation, and I didn't really love that foundation anyways. I did use it for a long time because after the second one that I purchased that had a better shade for me, because the one they bought was light, and I exchanged it for the fair shade. After that one, I didn't want to exchange it again, even though the dropper did stop working. So I would just pour it on the back of my hand straight from the container instead of trying to use the dropper. But I still just didn't love that foundation. It just was very like, I would say it was like between a light and a medium coverage. It wasn't even totally a medium coverage, although it was a little bit on the buildable side, and it was just too glowy for my skin. So I do have more like combination skin, but it just gave me too much glow. All right, the next thing, so far I haven't kept any of the items. The next thing was the Kat Von D Brightening Powder. Again, I'm gonna insert a picture because I don't own this anymore either. This one again was just a shade issue. They bought me the medium shade. It just came in 3 shades. She had a light one, a medium one, and a deep one, and they grabbed the medium one. So it was just too dark for my skin tone. It had like a peachy color to it. So it's supposed to be for brightening underneath the eye, and obviously because the color was too dark, it didn't give me that effect. So yeah, I tried using it as an all over setting powder, and it was just still too dark. So that one I did end up decluttering. The next thing, I have it, so I will show you. The next thing that they picked out for me was the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. This is the one that has a little bit of a shimmer to it. I actually love this bronzer. It is one of my favorite bronzers. I love reaching for this bronzer. Kira was the one that picked this particular item out for me, and I was so happy that she grabbed this because it's something that I always kind of wanted, but I never actually bought for myself, and I'm really glad that I own it now. I really enjoy it, and yeah, that was definitely a good item, and this is something I would repurchase. Like if I totally ran out of this and I needed a new bronzer, it's something I would repurchase. I'm really happy with that item. All right, the next product was the Becca blush in Blushed Copper. I love the Becca blushes. I own several shades, but this particular shade was too dark for my skin tone. It is meant for deeper skin tones, so unfortunately, I wish, if you watch the video and look back at that video, when they were shopping at the store, it used to be the store I worked at, there was only like 2 shades in stock of those Becca blushes, and Kira was the one that grabbed it. She just reached back and grabbed one. She wasn't really looking at colors. I wish they had more in stock because I feel like it wasn't really her fault. That was like the only one there, but I love Becca blushes. Had it been a different shade, I would have for sure kept it. It was just the shade. The shade was too dark for me. Even with a light hand, it was pretty dark on me. All right, the next item, this is the Marc Jacobs Brow Wow Brow Pencil, and they did grab me the shade, let's see, medium brown. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, that's gonna be way too dark for my eyebrows, but it is what I have in my brows today, and I don't actually feel like it is that dark. I don't think that this shade looks like a medium brown. It looks like a very like, almost like a taupe, but very like cool undertone, very ashy. But I actually really like this pencil a lot. It is part of my makeup use up project for the year. I'm trying to use this product up, but I do actually really like it. The only thing is it's a few dollars more than my Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I will continue probably to purchase that one over this one, but I was glad that they picked it out for me because I do like it and I will completely use it up, and it was nice kind of getting to try a few new products, so I was really happy with this item. All right, the next few items are single eyeshadows. They picked out 3 different single eyeshadows for me. I do still own all 3. The first 2 were the Kat Von D Metal Crush shadows. Now both the ones that they had picked out for me I already owned, so I didn't actually buy them, but they picked them, and so I just, you know, put them back and used the ones that I owned. So they did select the shade Thunderstruck and the shade Dose. I've talked about these eyeshadows a lot with you guys before. I actually love the formula of these. I think they're fantastic eyeshadows. I'm really glad that I own them. I think they did a good job selecting these items, and I would highly recommend checking out these Metal Crush eyeshadows if you have not tried them. They're very metallic, almost foiled. They're just beautiful, and I love her shade selection as well. And then the other eyeshadow that, actually with the eyeshadows, I'll tell you who picked them. The lighter white shade here, Lexi picked that one, and then Kira picked the Dose, the orange shade. Okay, and then for the other eyeshadow they picked out was from Urban Decay, and this is the Asphyxia eyeshadow. Lexi was the one that selected this because she knows purple is my favorite color. She is so cute. When we were shopping, and you see it in the video, I did get footage of her doing it, but she was looking at the display and they had all of the different testers out, and she was looking at the purple ones, and she picked up the box of the live product and it had a little window where you could see the color, and she was like comparing it to the little samples. It was so cute, so cute. But she wanted to get the right shade of purple for mommy, which I thought was adorable. But I actually love this. I think it's one of my favorite single eyeshadows now. I love it. I think it's so beautiful. It's very light lavender, and it almost has like a little bit of a blue shift, but it's so pretty. I like popping this on the inner corner. Sometimes I'll put it on my lower lash line for like a little drama, but I think it's a beautiful eyeshadow, and I'm really happy that I own it. All right, the next item that they picked out for me was the Smashbox Gel Eyeliner. I was really actually pleasantly surprised by this item. I don't like a lot of Smashbox products, and it's kind of a brand that I look past when I'm shopping at Sephora, so it's not something I would have picked out for myself. But after trying this out, I loved the formula so much I ended up picking up a couple other shades of this liner, and they got me just the black liner. It is very, very black. It's very creamy. It goes on really well. It doesn't irritate my eyes, and it stays in place. So I was actually really pleasantly surprised by this one and really glad that they got it. Kira was the one that picked out this item for me. All All right, the next item that they picked out was the Stila Lash Stunner Primer. Kira grabbed this. She thought it was a mascara, but it looks like a mascara, so without like reading the label, she wouldn't have known a difference. But it was actually a lash primer. I hated this lash primer. I feel like what happened, I think I got a bad product. I think my product might have been sitting on the shelf for too long. At the time, I was still working at that Sephora, and I don't ever remember selling one of those lash primers, so I think that might have been there for years on the shelf. And when I opened it and tried it, like it did nothing for my lashes. I couldn't even see the product on my eyelashes, so I think it was just so dried out that nothing was coming out. So I don't know. I can't really say that I wouldn't recommend the product because I don't think I got a fair chance to try it, if that makes sense. I think the one that I bought was a bad one. All right, and then the next item that they had picked out for me was the lipstick. So the lipstick they picked out was from Sephora Collection, and it was in the shade R46. It was a very bright orange, not a coral, it was like orange. So Lexi picked it out. It was the first thing that she grabbed when we walked into the store, and that's why they picked a lot of orange products to kind of match it. But I decluttered it because of the shade. I actually own some of the other Sephora Collection lipsticks, and I think the formula is pretty good, but the shade was not right for me. It was just too bright of an orange. I couldn't pull it off. I did wear it in that video, but that was the only time I ever wore it. So I did end up decluttering that item. The last thing was this No Thin Lips. It's a lip plumping gloss. I do actually like this. I don't reach for it as often as I should because I have some other plumping glosses that I really enjoy, but I think this is nice. It's nice if you like a little bit more of a subtle, tingly feeling, not as intense. It's not as intense as the Grande Lips ones or the Too Faced Extreme Lip Plumper. I would compare it more to the Buxom ones, but a little bit more like between the Buxom and the Too Faced, kind of right in the middle there. But it is a nice gloss, and they just got me, it's just a clear gloss, so. Alright guys, so those are all the products that my kids purchased for me in the Kids Buy My Makeup Challenge. I think I've decluttered about half of the products, but I'm really happy about the ones that I did end up keeping. Like I mentioned, some of these are my new favorites, and I'm really happy that they picked out these products for me, and it was just a fun time. So it was one of my favorite memories with the kids. We all really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this haul in review. I definitely will be doing more of these coming very soon, and stay tuned for that. If you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, the subscribe button is right down below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.